Well, I'm Ed Rondthaller, and have been living in Croton since 1942. We moved here from Brooklyn. My wife and I moved here from Brooklyn, and we're very fortunate to come to this unusual place. We live along by the Croton River, and you're now seeing the beginning of the Croton River in the dam behind me, which is 100 years old this year. The dam and I are the same age, and that's one thing that has kept me close to the dam, watching it get older and older, slowly and slowly. So I have been canoeing most of the distance of the Croton River between the dam here and the Hudson. There's one part of it that goes down by Goose Island that is very, very rough, and the canoe turned over with me in it when I was going down one of the sides. There's an island in there, and I turned over there and got wet. It's the only time I've ever turned over in a canoe. But canoeing is many people in Croton have canoes and enjoy both the Hudson and the Croton River. When we came in 1941, we soon met a man, Theodore Cornu, who himself was an avid canoeist. He was a bit older than I, but sometimes we would go out canoeing with him. He was one of the earliest ecologists. Ecology began in, I am told on good authority, began in the Hudson River Valley and spread elsewhere, but its beginning was here. And Theodore Cornu may have been one of the earliest environmentalists, because he tried to spread the idea of improving the environment throughout the village and throughout the Hudson Valley. He was an artist himself. He had gone to Cooper Union, and he issued a little leaflet from time to time called Hudson River Echoes, and he knew Indian lore and Indian history very well, and he would comment on various subjects to do with the Indians and the river. And these are now treasured. There are copies in the library and elsewhere, and treasured by those of us who happen to have copies of them. But Cornu, we hope, began to promote this idea of a preservation of the treasured places, and perhaps some of what is popular today we can trace back to Cornu. Well, I don't know. What more is that enough? All right, good. Good.
Right on target, Ed.
Right on target? All right. Fine.
Cornu thing is really very special.
Yeah. His mother at that in downtown New York, and his father left and was never seen again. Now, his mother got a job as housekeeper for one of the downtown hotels, and they curtained off the back of a hallway and put a couple of beds in there, and that was where he grew up. He then had a job with as a boy, bringing wood to keep the fires going in an engrossing studio. Now, you don't know what engrossing is, because it isn't done much anymore, but engrossing was writing names on diplomas, and they used to do that in the good calligraphic styles. Engrossing. And Theodore brought wood to keep the stoves going, to keep the heat in the engrossing room where these fellows were, and from them he learned that the best, that you could have, that the cheapest way to have a good time was to get a canoe and paddle up to the Croton River. And the Croton River was the goal of many of those engrossers. And
was this like in the 40s then?
He was telling me the story in the late 40s or in the mid 40s. He was. So
this must have been in maybe the late 30s.
Oh no!
Much before that.
No, when he was a boy, he was born in 1886, and so I'm now talking about 1910 or something like that.
The dam had just been finished.
I guess that's right. Yes, I guess that is right. Yeah. Well, he rescued, when my guess is when he was about 16 or 18 years old, he rescued a canoe from a fire, a hardware store fire in Lower New York, and hid the canoe under one of the docks in Lower New York and repaired it. And then the engrossers were all joining the Dyckman Street Canoe Club, which was the canoe club, and he joined the Dyckman Street Canoe Club, and there had a friend who, and I can't remember his name, but his friend was ultimately the president of the A&P grocery store, and his friends, and he used to go with his friend, paddle up to the Croton River from New York, and they camped opposite the manor house on Indian Brook, where Indian Brook comes down. And it was damp there, but they camped there. And then Miss Van Cortlandt, who was in the manor house, told them that if they wanted a dryer, somehow, I don't know how they got in touch with her, but she told them that they could camp by the ferry house there, where it was dry, if they had kept everything neat. Of course, he was a very neat person, very neat. So they camped by the manor house there, quite a number of years. And then his friend got married, and his wife objected to this in the summer because he left her to camp with Cornu.
Was Cornu married then?
Oh no. Eventually, this fellow's wife broke up the friendship between them, and as Cornu said, he and his friend couldn't have any more fun. Well, it turned out that his friend was president of the A&P stores.
Cornu ended up living in the ferry house.
Yeah, but Cornu describing his friend said he got a job with a grocery store. but Fortune magazine pointed out to me that he was I visualized him as being a clerk, or a checkout clerk or something like that, but Fortune magazine thought otherwise.